Hi, this is Peter.
Hi, this is Sandra.
And we are medievalist.net.
And today we are doing actually two episodes, episode 4 and 5 of
World Without End.
How do you do that? Anyways. So basically...
You need some drama.
Okay. So basically we have, Petronilla and Godwin scheming and plotting taken to a whole new level that ends up really sad for Karis and Myrthen.
Yes, lots of killing, lots of poisoning and murders, which for almost no reason at all. Just to keep...
Well, I mean, Godwin's very grasping and he's trying to get his way to the top, so he actually has his mother, and unbelievably so, murder her brother.
I like how Godwin says, and if you worry too much, I'll absolve you after.
That was a pretty harsh line, and then, he also has her help frame poor Karis, who ends up nearly being groped in public again by Godwin and made to hang.
And she's
Mother Cecilia saves her.
Yeah, she gets she has to become a nun because she's framed for poisoning
Sir Roland's son, and then basically Myrthen has to leave because he's not going to stick around when he can't be reunited with the woman he loves. So he goes to Florence and becomes a successful builder and marries and has a little girl.
Living the dream out in Florence.
Living the pestilence dream because the plague is in town. And, we cut away and we see poor Myrthen's wife has got some interesting neck decorations.
Oh, yes.
The bulbous kind of looking plague nodules.
The sign of the plagues.
Yeah, the pestilence. And he goes running to the doctor, and the doctor's like, well, there's only two things you can do, hope and pray. I was waiting for Myrthen to throw him some Italian, whatever.
Yeah.
Screw you, pal, but he didn't do it.
Yeah.
But basically, it was just kind of like a sad episode. Ralph gets nabbed for rape and actually is seconds away from getting castrated, which I was kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, you were hoping for that.
Ralph was just a jackass this episode, and basically he gets saved because I thought that was just a bit convenient. I understand it's TV, but when they ran in, they're like, hey, anybody want to join the king's army?
Yeah, and the king
You're all absolved.
And the king is there.
Yeah. So I mean, it was just.
There's a lot of.
What did you think of that?
Well, we're watching these kind of two episodes, so it's kind of transversal. Seems to be 10 to 15 years of history, but it all packed into something. But the fact that Edward III lets people into his army gives them pardons to serve in his army is a historical fact.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. Okay. One of the very few that seem to be followed here in this show, which is kind of sad because I was expecting this to be more or less historically accurate. But
Godwin almost looks disappointed, like, oh man, no show today.
Oh, he was like, the game show, we are going to...
First we're going to hang you, then we're going to disembowel you, and if you're high up, we'll castrate you first. Yeah! The crowds... It's like some kind of like a wrestling match. It was really ridiculous.
We get, it's basically like we're actually talking about two episodes here. So if that
was one.
I hope you haven't been watching the first episode 4 and thinking, oh, let's watch the review, because we're kind of giving you both this week and the following week's episode all in one. But a lot of it is this kind of run up to the famous Battle of Cressy, which is not...
Was it Cressy? Are you sure
that was Cressy? Yeah, it kind of has to be, but
Oh, it has to be, okay.
But at the same time, it's totally not at all like Cressy. So, um, but it was cool to see a kind of a big battle scene. I guess they kind of.
I'm beginning to really like, of all the characters, I absolutely detest Godwin. You know, I usually like villainous characters to a degree. Like, I like a character that's a bit of a jackass and a jerk. You know, but Godwin's so just nasty, and they've made him out to have no redeeming qualities whatsoever.
Yeah.
I watch the show, and every time he comes on screen, he just makes me angry. It's like I have the same reaction when I watch Game of Thrones and I see Joffrey.
Yeah.
I just want to hurl rotten vegetables at the screen.
What?
I can't stand Godwin. I can't stand him at all.
As you were saying, he was like this. He's power hungry, and he has no any convictions because like at part of it was he wanted to build this palace for himself, really, and now he's not even doing that. He's just hoarding away his money. So
right, and he's just you know, his mother. Initially she kind of, I think, resents him for what he's asked of her, but then Petronilla kind of goes along with everything, and I just dislike her character intensely. You know, I thought it was really, really, you know, I'm not one for mushy crap, but when Merthin runs into the church as Karis is being led away to do her vows, I thought that was a really heartrending scene. I was like, I hated Godwin so much at that moment. I was like, there was no reason for her to have to be there except for Godwin. And they have a mole at the nunnery or the convent. They have Sister Elizabeth, the dirty rat.
And she's a treasurer too, so.
Oh yeah, for sure, you know, and she's
great position to have.
I think she has the hots for Godwin or something, because she's very or she's grasping, and she wants to move up because she's very ready to she dislikes Karis, and she's ready to rat on anything that they do. You know, so that was that episode. And then in the last episode, we've jumped ahead. That was 1334. We've jumped ahead now. The beginnings of the Black Plague are hitting Florence.
Yes.
And Karis is a good nun in spite of how she got into the calling.
Yeah, she seems to be enjoying her life. She's a little lovesick, but
she's doing her medicine.
Yeah.
She can practice, and she's writing down everything, and she's helping people, like when Gwenda's son gets caught stealing and he burns his arm.
Bad little boy, that is, yeah. They seem to, for the most part, they have this kind of semi-idyllic life for her. She's doing her thing, but the politics of it all, there's a donation to the sister. She gets 150 gold coins, which promptly gets stolen.
Mother Cecilia's cousin passes away and leaves her 150 gold coins, at which point she decides she's going to finally build that hospice that she always wanted. And, you know, basically Sister Elizabeth again gets in the way by telling Godwin, and he comes in and steals her money, which I didn't understand, because if your cousin's bequeathing you the money, how did Godwin have a right to claim it for the priory? I didn't get that.
The only thinking is that, like, a nun or a monk, they're not supposed to keep individual wealth, right?
Right, but
so it would go to the convent, but he would say, well, I should have. There's nothing in writing to say that this is for the convent. It should be for the priory and convent, which he runs. So that's his logic.
Right. So meanwhile, he's sniffing his cousin's clothes in bed, the incestuous bastard.
They
and
basically,
he's such a dirtbag.
They go on Karis and another nun named Mare go on this kind of journey to France just to meet up with the king. I guess they couldn't wait until he returned.
No.
They had to go there right away.
Mother Cecilia sends them on this mission, and they come across Well, we have to back up the train actually because this is a very interesting part. So, Sister Mare catches Brother Thomas and Brother Matthias in bed together, naked, and she doesn't tell anyone except Karis, and she kind of is like, well, what do you think of this? And Karis is kind of like, well, it's a mortal sin, but
they're good men.
They're good men, and I'd rather not say anything because who knows what Godwin will do to them. So they don't say anything. Then when they're traveling, to France, we realize why Sister Mare was so okay with everything. She has the same feelings, and she
puts the moves on.
She totally puts the moves on. Karis, and in a field of dead bodies and carnage, they make out. So, I thought that was very interesting, and I thought the scene between Thomas and Matthias was very good too, where he's like, "Hey, nobody told on us, so I love you and stuff," and Matthias is like, does a total. He's like, "Yeah, but I don't know anything about you. Tell me about your life." And he's like, "I can't, because then I..."
Very dramatic.
It was very, like, relationship-y. It was kind of funny. He's like, "I can't really tell you because it'd get you in a lot of trouble." But I thought it was interesting, and the fact that now I understand why Sister Mare didn't rat on Brother Thomas and Brother Matthias.
Yeah, like you get these kind of
interesting plot twists.
I would say interesting. Like, and it kind of explains why one character supports another. So
and so they finally get to the unnamed battlefield in France and have immediate access to the king.
Yeah, they walk up.
Did you see her laminated backstage pass? Because I didn't. I just thought it was a little funny that
anybody can go up to
any
the
old
king.
nun.
Anyone can go up to the king's camp and walk around. And
He's hanging out there. She could have had a crossbow and hooked him.
Look, the guards knew they were English because they tested her by asking how many steeples are there in King's Landing.
King's Landing, Kingsbridge.
Kingsbridge?
Wrong show.
Okay. You should have asked about King's Landing.
But anyhow, so she's like, "Hey, I know you're busy and you got a lot of king things to do, but I need you to sign this paper." And he's like, it was so funny. Edward's like, "Hey, I'm the king. I got stuff going on here. I got a battle tomorrow. I don't have time for your paper." And Karis is like, "Yeah, man, but wait, we all have stuff to do. So you got to sign this paper now because I came all the way from England." It was so...
I'm loving your recap here.
I thought it was the funniest conversation ever. He's like, "I have important things to do." And she's like, "Yeah, but you know what? We all have important things to do." Oh man, it was ridiculous. What did you think?
I can't top what you just did right now, but
didn't that strike you? That conversation strike you as a bit kind of, if you had to break it down and simplify it, that would have...
Well, it's the peasant, in this case nun, that gives the king his like moment. Oh yes, I have duty. It's my duty to fight the French. I'm not going to surrender like I'm being told to. And he goes back in. And everyone, we're not going to, let that French pisser just...
And then he busts out a cool line. He's like, "Karis Wooler, you're all the stuff I love about England. If I win, I'll sign your petition tomorrow." Yeah! Get him, Edward.
And he's a man to his word because...
The next day on his horse, he busts out his... Are you okay? You're gonna be alright?
Oh my god.
No, he's losing it. Yeah, he's on his horse. It's like he's whipping out an iPad, right? He like busts out this... Because every king rides around with a pack of pens and ink on his saddle. Whips out this thing. He's like, "Oh yeah, hey, Karis, by the way, what's up? Here's my thing. Here's your petition." I just thought it was so funny. It killed me.
Well, at least, write up a little scrap of paper and give it to you.
Yeah, just some ripped up. It was like a shredded paper.
Hey, I got all these clerks, and they shouldn't bother writing it.
No,
and having me put on like an official seal and actually making it formal. I'll just give you a scrap of paper with a couple of words.
Because I have a bunch of ink and stuff in my side bag, and it was like he was signing autographs at a film festival. Like, oh yeah, hey, you're there. Here you go. Yeah, and then I love how he deked her. He said, "But I'm coming back, so here you go." I like the guy. I love Edward. I like his character. I don't like the emo haircut they gave him this time. It's kind of like I don't know. He looks like
he wears that
it's
crown.
Kind of like Oasis meets just old school Justin Bieber. And
I think he wears that crown nicely though.
I was down with his earlier haircut, but this British band hairdo he's got going is not doing anything for me. But other than that, she gets what she came for. Now let's hope that Godwin doesn't steal it, burn it, kill someone for it. Because if you've gone all this way to harass the king and you screw up and lose that piece of paper, I'm telling you.
Well, like that's Godwin's, modus operandi, just to find the paper and burn it, and that should be fine.
That's all he does.
They
hang people, hang whores, hang this, and just burn
and if you can't do, just little knife
to the gut.
So
they're successful, quest accomplished, and then we see the battle. Is it Cressy or not? Have you decided?
Well, it's supposed to be, but
do you want to recap it like I recapped mine?
Oh, yeah.
And so I shot you in the eye. Oh, wow.
Well, they got the river blocked, so let's just send a crack troop to go
in the river.
To wade across the river.
Quietly, in armor. Because that's reality.
They silently kill everybody they come across, camp after camp.
For real.
Until they get to the main French camp. And everyone around the camp is now dead.
Yeah, but of course.
All the sentries everywhere. So
it gives Ralph a chance to yell, no quarter.
Yes, yeah.
And jump up and kill everyone.
Someone who's probably not the French king, although he acts like he's a French king.
Go get my armor.
Go get my armor, and he's shot. He's just lying around. Oh, there's a cloud of arrows coming. Takes his shield, which doesn't work.
Not at all.
Like that arrow was one darn good arrow because it went right through his shield and
he stayed there. They did a couple long shots of him frozen.
So the archers win the day almost completely by themselves because the French, and then for some reason Edward wants to join in on it, and they all charge across the river and finish off whoever is left in the camp that has already been killed.
That's not what happened in the history books?
No,
Peter,
that's
tell
not
us.
that.
That's so funny. No, but
But of course, we won the battle that apparently have won everything. Let's go home. Yay.
See, what I was going to say, I actually, we're making fun and teasing here, but I actually enjoyed these 2 episodes.
Yeah, I
did. I thought they were good, and I, in particular, like episode 4 with,
look, if I knew
what happened with Karis and Murthrin and how nasty Godwin is just becoming.
Look, if I knew nothing of medieval history, which some people accuse me of, he
knows nothing.
I would have, I would have really enjoyed it because it was really kind of a dramatic kind of scenes.
I'm just talking about enjoyment for sheer entertainment.
I think so for sheer entertainment. Yeah, like this is a fun little episode. We've got all sorts of devious tricks and counterplots.
And it's interesting. It's getting very interesting. And the acting is great too. I really do enjoy I will look it up. The gentleman who's playing Edward III, he's a fantastic actor. I like Karis, and we didn't get to see too much of Gwenda today, but I am really actually liking Mother Cecilia because she defends Karis, and she's sort of like a bit of a hard ass. Like she's like, we'll get Godwin, don't you worry. appreciate her determination to bring that sucker down.
All the good characters are like really good. All the bad characters are really bad.
Yeah, there's like a no gray area. Everybody's either really a good person or just hideously evil. It's true. It's a very good point. But yeah, so next week, join the three of us. Thank you for sneaking into the shot. As we watch another episode of
World Without
End.
Thank you.